Good evening, good people. Energized Coach coming to you on a special day today. But first, before I start, unfortunately, I had a very significant loss in my family, and I've been dealing with it rather roughly, probably not as roughly as his mother, but I want to take a moment before I continue talking about this special day. If you could just join me for a moment of silence to remember my nephew, who unfortunately lost his life 2 days ago. Let's take a minute for a moment of silence, please. Rest well, Naeem. I'll see you again. Okay, back to the video. The reason why today is special is because we have things that go on or happen in our life over time where we celebrate times and seasons. And in celebrating this season, we are celebrating now, or the season of spring, of the spring equinox, which started on March 19th. And the reason why, of course, I told you in my other video regarding the spring equinox that March 19th was the start of spring, because this is a leap year. And in a leap year, because there are 29 days in February, instead of the season starting on March 20th, it started on March 19th because of the extra day in February. And so, because of that, we have times of which we celebrate in regards to a time when the seasons change. The weather changes, grass starts growing, flowers start blooming, birds start chirping even more, because it's a time where they start to go into the season of procreation. I, as a person who owns chickens, my chickens start laying eggs. All winter they don't lay any eggs, but during the springtime, in fact my chickens did a little early, they lay eggs. And so it's a time of celebration coming out of the winter solstice, going into the spring equinox. Now that everything has been prepared, there's an appreciation that comes for this change and things of that nature. And so along with that change, not only things that we have that we can celebrate here on the planet Earth, but also in celebrating the moon. The moon has so many advantages and so many things that it gives in its luminescent abilities, but I'm not going to really go into too many of them, other than the fact that the moon gives us the ability to be able to control the water, the tides of our shores with the water. And it also gives us some light during the day, during the night when it is full, whereas during the daytime, of course, the sun is what gives us the light that we need during the daytime. And without getting into or going into the things regarding the circadian rhythm and understanding those things, although it's not customary that we look for light during the nighttime, but the moon being full will give us light because of how it is positioned with the sun around the earth, and then we appreciate the full moon. Now, this full moon is the first full moon of the spring equinox, and that's why it is so significant. Not only that, when it reaches the point where it's at now, what is called, let me make sure I pronounce it correctly, it's called the supermoon, but it's called something perigee. When it reaches the point of perigee, I'll show you right here, when it reaches the point of perigee. Now, the moon doesn't have an exact circle or which it orbits around the Earth. At some points, the moon is close to the Earth, and at some points, the moon is further away from the Earth. That's called the apogee. When it's close, it's called the perigee. It's called the apogee. Now, when it reaches the perigee is the point where it's closest to the Earth. 8 hours after that, it will be going back out away from the Earth around it as it orbits toward the apogee. And during that time, at 10:35 tonight, on April 7th, you will see the full moon. The moon will also appear to be bigger than it normally is, and it's a full moon. So if you think about it, not only is it full moon, of course, meaning that the sun is fully facing the moon, giving it its extreme light, but it'll also be close to the Earth. That's why it's called the supermoon. It is because of the season and the time on which this full moon is occurring, what makes it significant. It's also called a pink moon. And be given these names for various reasons, but it's there and it's given to us to appreciate so that we can celebrate not only the full moon, it's a full moon during the spring season. The spring season gives us a chance to be outdoors, to enjoy the weather. Today, I know it got as high as maybe 63 here where I live. Of course, if you live further south, the weather probably was even better. And so it would be good that if you have a clear sky, tonight would be a good time to be able to go out and appreciate the full moon, the pink moon, this super moon that is giving us the things that we need to control our shores. Not only that, it's also something good to look at tonight because, considering all the negativity that we're getting from, all these places in regards to this issue that we're dealing with, in regards to the things that's happening to those that we care about, to those that we know, or we hear about. We hear stories, famous people that we have known about and now are being impacted not only by falling ill to this issue, but some of them are leaving us as a result of it. And so one of the things that I've been encouraging folks, and something that I also do myself, is to make sure that you prepare yourself and making sure that you keep your immune system intact. I've shared several. I'll give you some of them on which I do right off the top of the head. Number one, I fast. Fasting allows your body to heal and not have to worry about digesting food. You get energy and all of these things that have come from fasting on top of the detoxification aspect that will also improve your immunity so that your body be better prepared because it's been getting yourself together because, wait, we don't have any food. What do we need to do? Now I need to make this body stronger because I want to keep it alive so that once I get to something to be able to eat, I'll be able to digest it. Number two, water. Most of our body is made up of water. I drink about 78 ounces of it a day. And by doing so, you clean your system out. Some say, well, don't you drink too much water? You got to keep going to the bathroom. So you're in the house. So drink water. This way you'll be able to resist and keep your immune system not having to digest all these other things that you're putting in your body that you're trying to use to quench your thirst that are doing more harm than good. For example, if you drink soda, the carbon in it needs calcium to be able to digest. Well, wait, let's see. Are you drinking milk? Are you putting calcium? Are you taking calcium? No, I got to get it from somewhere. Well, let me go get it from the bones. By taking it from your bones, it makes your bones brittle. And the older you are, the more harm it can cause you because it makes your bones even more brittle, creating conditions like osteoporosis. That's why some of our elderly people, when they fall, they break their hip because of things that they're putting in their body. Drink water. The other thing is grounding. I have a grounding mat. I have one on my website. I've been trying to show some of you. I have them on my website. Put the grounding mat in your bed for 8 hours. Your body needs to get connected to the earth. By doing so, you'll allow your immune system to be able to have a fighting chance against anything that comes against it. So go outside, take your shoes off. When the weather's nice, you can't do so. Get a grounding mat, connect it to, I did a video on this, connect it to the small hole on your outlet and put it in the bed. Put your feet on it, your bare feet on the mat while you're sleeping. Not only will you get a better rest, but also give your immune system, you'll fight inflammation and all these other conditions because you're taking those positive ions that you have in your body that can't get out because you're wearing shoes all the time and having it dispelled and going out into the earth. Having some of that 7.83 hertz of frequency take that stuff out. It also takes some of this EMFs out of you as well. So those are three. There are others that I have as well, like getting your body moving, get your lymphatic system, getting those 10,000 steps in a day. Also, I take herbs and natural like moringa, spirulina. I also have turmeric, cumin, curry, and I put in my food and whatever I eat. I also eat vegetables and fruits every day. Again, so my body can now get what it needs to be able to have a fighting chance. Not only is it good for you because it gives you energy, but it also have your immune system as such to be able to have a fighting chance against what we're dealing with. So, without going into that too much, our bodies have a way of healing. The earth has a way of healing. It has things that we have outside of the planet, like being in the perfect position around the sun so that we'll have the temperatures that we have because it's on this axis at 23.5 degrees, which gives us our seasons. We're right now in the spring equinox, and tonight, we will have our first full moon of the spring equinox, the pink moon, the super moon, and it will appear to be bigger than the people who worship the moon. Not judging them, but please do whatever it is that makes you happy. And in doing so, it will now show itself in full color and in size and something to appreciate. If the weather allows it, go out, take pictures of it, gaze at it, enjoy it, embrace it, and it'll take your mind off of all these other things that's giving you problems, like all these things that we keep hearing in the media. It is very important that we take and not take anything for granted. And if it's nothing that gave an opportunity or understanding of not taking anything for granted, should be now considering everything that we're dealing with, that now you're being made to stay in the house rather than being moved about like you normally should because of what we're dealing with. There's an opportunity to take something that you can do as your family, teach the little ones on the appreciation of what we have, what it is all about, look it up, and educate them on what it is that's going on so that they can have appreciation for things that we have on this planet that many of us have long taken for granted, even down to the very oxygen that we have, that we breathe, is keeping us all alive right now. Even thinking about and being considerate of those who are struggling to get this very oxygen that we take for granted so that we can live on this planet. It's the day, the celebration of the pink moon, the super moon, the first full moon of the spring equinox. Time for planting seed, growing food, being prepared so you won't have to be subject to having to go to the supermarkets to buy your food. If you grow your own, you won't have to do so. One last one before I leave. My chickens, the reason why they start laying eggs is because of the temperature of how the sun hits their body, and it gives them the body the understanding that it's now time to lay eggs. What is laying eggs? Of course, it's their form of procreation. And so since it's their form of procreation, we all need to have some form of procreation. We need to also plant some seed or have something growing in our lives. And so this is the season for that to happen. So anything regarding the season, we need to celebrate. We're now, some of you are going through this time of the Holy Week of what is happening in regards to, in the religious sector, of understanding the things regarding resurrection. But while you're doing that, there's something things that you need to resurrect as well, especially considering you're given the time and the space to be able to do so. With that being said, hopefully you go out and appreciate the moon. do so with your shoes off so that you can get some earthing and some grounding in your body and be able to appreciate all that you have been given. Tomorrow's not promised, but you do have today. And while you have today, appreciate that which has been given to you. Take advantage of the opportunity to learn something new. Appreciate what it is that you have. And be thankful for the life that you've been given. It's the Energized Coach, celebrating the pink moon. Hopefully you're doing the same. And hopefully that you continue to stay safe, stay home, and be able to get through this unfortunate circumstance which we're dealing with, so we can go back and live the life that we are used to, but with a different mindset, appreciating what it is that we have, rather than taking it for granted, and now managing and governing ourselves in a manner in which we will make sure that not only do we appreciate what we have, appreciate those that we have with us, and not just saying that you love them, show them that you love them. I love you. Peace.